Hi there. I'm going to show you a couple of tools for creating Mecanim rigs in LightWave for use in Unity. And this is the example scene from Unity. And if you go to Asset Store and then search for Mecanim, it's this project here. So just download and import that whole project. And then open up Animator Controller Scene. And when you press play here, you will see that you have this guy running, and then when you click, it jumps, waves, and does his thing here. And what I want to do is basically run a couple of tools. Some are built into LightWave, and two others are L scripts that I created. So if you jump into Modeler here, and we'll take a look at this dude character here. He doesn't have any weight maps applied to him. What he does have is a whole bunch of skelegons inside of him. And I use the skelegons only to paint weights onto the model. So if you see here the skelegon tree, you have a whole bunch of hips skelegons, and all of them are influencing or going to use the weight map called hips. And when you then use this, let's see here, vertex paint under map, and then color, and then vertex paint, just first of all, you get the question if you want to have unique weight names. Initially I pressed no, because I thought I would get all these different hip skelegons would then basically merge into one hip weight map. But it didn't work as planned. So if I press calculate and then say save changes yes, then you'll see here that I don't get the whole hierarchy here of all the skelegons. So the correct choice, first of all, is to say yes, I want them to be unique names. And then when you calculate the weight, let's see here, fall off and then calculate and then close and then apply all this to the vertex map. Then you'll see here that the chest weight map has been applied to multiple weight maps here. So it's not one weight map. Let's take a look at the hips here, for instance. We have one portion here for the middle bone, or skelegon rather, and then you have all these different bits here, and then what I want is all of them to be one weight map. So I created an L script that merged them. So you run that one, and then you can see here that all of them have been merged. So it's only one hips weight map, like such. And then I'll save that, send it to layout, and run this other L script I created, which is basically creating a rig based on the skelegon structure. So it looks for the first bone that is named hip, and it's going to use that as the root hip bone. So although there are multiple bones with the same name, it only uses the first one of each occurrence. And then it makes it into a regular Z bone and set the rotation to 0, and also tell LightWave to only use the weight map and the name of the weight map to use. So it's the same name as the bone. The bone and the weight map are identical. That's easy to have an overview of. And then since it's like this now, it basically is working like a pivot point. This is not a bone. I don't use it as a bone in the traditional sense, with all the bones rotated and pointing towards each other. And the reason for this is to create a very easy, reusable rig structure that Unity will handle easily with the avatar system it has with Mecanim. So now, well, let's see here. Let's go to the export here and export as FBX. And I'll call this, let's see here. Let's go to exports, dude, save, and OK. Inside of Unity now, I have my dude, and by default it's a generic rig, but I want it to be a humanoid. And then press apply. You can see the structure of this when you go into this configuration. You can see that all the bones have been automatically assigned to the correct slot based on their position in the structure and also the name here. So Unity is very pleased with this structure here, and you can also see that Unity has drawn connections between each bone because they have been, inside of LightWave, they are parented correctly. They just don't have that preview of being connected to each other like that because they have all zero rotation. So it's kind of like a joint bone, really, but it behaves differently. So you shouldn't really use joint bones in Unity if you want to export it to, joint bones in LightWave if you want to export it to Unity, because they don't behave as expected when coming through. In any case, let's just swap out this mesh here, and so I'm now going to just disable all these internal parts. We'll keep the root here, has an animator and some scripts and a character controller, and then I'll drag my dude in there, and we're going to use the avatar definition from this dude and drag it on there, and when we press play, we have our LightWave dude running and jumping and waving. So you see it's a very, very fast way of creating a rig and weight mapping it quite nicely as well. And then you can easily tweak the weight map in Modeler once you have created this paint weights by skelegons type workflow. So you just first use this vertex paint tool, and then afterwards you run the script to merge all the weights, and then afterwards you can of course go in and manually paint weight maps and add and subtract parts of the model to it. And just to show how quick this is, once again, we have this other alien character here with no weight maps at all. First of all, we run and also this one has a much lower resolution skelegon rig here, no fingers or anything. And we'll run there we go, and then we use the calculate weights as such, and then apply, yes, and then there are some duplicate weight maps here, so we need to run this merge weights, and then you can see they have been merged. I'll save it, send it to layout. I'll take out that other character and then run the rigging tool. And as you can see, we have some deformation, but this is a typical case of you want to either add a lot of more control bones to paint a better weight map from those skelegons, but also it shows that you should actually go in and manually apply weight maps to the regions where you want them to be applied, so it's more rigid. So this color part here, it would be one weight map solid to the chest, and then the head would be a separate weight map, kind of very specifically defined at the neck here. But in any case, let's just, let's see, go file, export FBX, and then it's the Garg FBX. Okay, in Unity we now have an FBX. We need it to be a humanoid. Apply, drag it in here, and then we need to use the Garg avatar definition. And also I just want to show one thing. If you click configure, you will see that we're not using all the possible bones that Unity can use. So we've just dismissed all the fingers. All these bone definitions with a dotted line around them, they are optional, so you don't need to have them. Those ones with a solid line around them, they have to be in the rig, or else it will just say it's not properly rigged. And now we have this alien creature. Press play, and he's running, jumping, waving. So you see it's very, very fast and easy to set up totally different characters in this fashion. Hope you like the scripts, and if you have any suggestions, just send me a comment here under the video, or send me an email, or in one of the forums, you know me there, and we'll see where this can go further.